good.
Jeremy's a celebrity.
I was going to say, I didn't sign.
I didn't sign a waiver.
Yeah.
Didn't you read the
I
fine
didn't
print on the bottom of the attendance form?
Didn't agree the big deal.
I thought they were here for webcasting. Is this on Twitch TV?
Oh, whoops.
I'm standing by it. It is backwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in other things, they have that on the other side.
Yeah. Usually start with the lowest from the left.
Okay, starting from Rob. Rob, how did it go, the audit?
Commenting on my audit or?
I mean, are you able to apply based on what you know? What you do?
Yeah, I thought the audit went reasonably well. Cameron was, the audited Cameron on customer satisfaction. He was a very easy person to audit. He had things available. He knew the first thing he had was a copy of the procedure. It's the same issue as the procedure that I had. So,
Do you have any feedback to Mark? Mark was the auditor, you were the observer
now I was the auditor for that one.
for that one.
Yeah, and I was the observer for Mark.
Okay.
Got some feedback from Mark. I'm sure he is.
Saying you were the observer for
Carrie Lee, and I'm the auditor for Jack. Product change, drawing change management.
you were the observer for who's the auditor?
Tax.
Right.
Yeah. What do you want me to comment?
Any feedback for her?
For her?
Yes.
Overall, I think she's very well prepared. She take down a lot of notes and very quickly too. I'm very impressed. She asked a lot of questions. The only and she does ask a lot of questions, and the only negative, or I would say maybe it's happened to everyone, that there are certain number of times when there were close-ended questions in class, like like for example, do you do this, or are you doing this, and so on. So that's the only. But besides that, she does also ask a lot of open-ended questions. So I don't know whether it's possible in an audit to ask all open-ended questions without any closed-ended questions.
Maybe it's not possible.
Yeah, I think you need a mixture, right? So I think overall it was.
Some of them is, I think some of them are a bit maybe encouraging, or like for that process. Kerry's well aware that it requires, and we knew that it still requires a lot of work. So some of the things were just confirming that, you know, what we thought or what I had already noted down were things that she also agreed with.
So long the auditee agrees that.
Yeah, it wasn't kind of like,
Yeah.
you're not doing this, are you? Yeah. But
Jeremy?
I reckon that's going to be able to be fixed up pretty
Yes.
easy enough. PCR.
Any feedback for Shay?
Shay was very well prepared. She knew the procedure. She already had questions in mind when she went in, and she asked all of her questions. It was actually really quick and really well done. Not much fault there at all.
Mark? Any feedback for Rob?
I have a question for Rob first. Did you do any, make yourself a pre-audit checklist or anything? I didn't see one.
What I did was fill out the turtle diagram, so I had some ideas on the way the process worked and some of the things I was looking for.
Yep. No, Rob's auditing style is really good. He's obviously done it a lot before. He's always he asked for a lot of examples, asked mostly open-ended questions. There was a couple of yes/no answers, but not. I guess that they were essential. We needed to ask those questions. And then obviously friendly and very seemed well organised. I can't really comment. I mean, I'm guessing we're all in the same boat. We haven't finished our reports, so we can't comment on the reports or audit report.
Do you want me to mark up and yeah, did a pretty good job. Pre-audit questioning list. I know you had a list there.
Yeah.
The only thing that I picked up, and I probably need to get this clarified with everyone, is that you were filling out the turtle diagram as evidence, not as preparation. So I think we should be, my only thought for that is to use it as preparation, but can I ask everyone what the understanding is?
Understanding is, I think I'm better to answer this. Let's hear what is everyone's thoughts about this.
My thought is
The diagram.
it's the third page, so you do it third. You know what I mean? Like it's not first.
I
So
think this came up in the refresher training that you did a few
Yeah.
months ago, and there it was the third page as well. And I think a few of us made some
So
recommendations
that it should be the front
should be
page,
the front
yeah.
page if that is the pre-audit sort of
Yeah,
requirement.
we also suggested as well maybe some questions that should be in those boxes that are covered off and included, so yeah.
One of the results of the survey is if examples are given and you send out to everyone a complete little diagram, how it looks like, how to do some questions, and then how and the complete one that has been filled out and as an example, then that would help me.
Yeah, and also what was mentioned before about what are types of variations to opportunities for improvement versus areas of concern versus using previous forms being filled in. Like if work instructions aren't documented but they're used, is that an improvement opportunity or is it an area of concern? Does it matter how significant they are as part of the process, or is there a blanket rule that you can apply to some of the outcomes?
If there is a risk and it potentially can jeopardize customer satisfaction, and it is a very concern. Shane, any feedback for Jeremy?
Okay, Jeremy audited Paul Hassett on LP120, which was prototype production and rework. The procedure is a bit of a mess, and Jeremy was asked to do the audit sort of at the last minute, so he didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but he asked a lot of very good and relevant questions and gave Paul a lot of feedback, and between the two of them they decided that there were a lot of, that it was one big NCR basically, his audit. I felt that he, with the time that he had to prepare, he prepared really well, and he asked open-ended questions and asked to look at different reports and KPIs and everything else, and Paul was also very forthcoming with all of the stuff that he wanted to show us. So yeah, I think he did really well.
Okay. Back your feedback for Singh.
Yep, very good at asking open-ended questions, asked for examples. All went pretty smoothly. I think Jeff felt comfortable. Probably finding some of the drawings and examples took a little while for him to, pull out of the system. Could be an area of concern or an opportunity for improvement, but as far as, Singh's questioning and that kind of thing, I think, there'd be some improvements made to the process once it's finished.
Frank audited it. He was prepared and had questions that he wanted to ask already. Also viewed examples and followed the JR through. Paul was really good and explained sort of the whole process in detail. Asked open-ended questions. There was only one suggestion for improvement, but Frank also asked for Paul's feedback and Paul had his own suggestions. So only observations were really finished there. Finished with his exit meeting and didn't really have a closing date because there was nothing to really solve.
We have audit summary for the process and use pick Google's example and obviously between the jury and especially they ask the good listening and question answer and always open questions. I did notice that let's auditee feel comfortable when some observations and improvement will be asked, so such as KPI. And we're happy, it's very happy with the conclusion. And we're working and we're working here.
Okay, very good, excellent. One of the hardest things doing audit is to keeping time. That is one of the hardest things, right? So you tend to, if you audit the whole company, like doing supply audits, you plan to do this area, or auditing this area this time. It's very hard to keep the time sometimes. You're not aware. You go deeper and deeper and then you lose the time. So how to avoid that? To avoid that is to, before the audit, you need to gather evidence. That's why external auditors will always ask us to supply, he'll ask for a list of evidence to be provided to him, then he will look through. For example, he's going to audit our NCR procedures. He asked for a list of the last year's customer complaints registered, all the NCRs, the whole list. Then he will analyze and study that, and he will judge how much time he wants to spend on that. So if there is a lot of risk, there's a lot of major thing in there, then you spend more time in it. So this is how you value add in a sense. It is not that you want to audit 5 procedures and the time is divided by 5 and spread equally. Not necessarily so. And the highest level of skill in terms of auditing is if you have the luxury of time. External auditors are not allowed to give consultations. They are not allowed to give you any ideas or suggestions or anything. Not allowed to. External auditors I'm talking about. Including when you do second party audit, for example, when we go and audit suppliers, we are not encouraged to tell suppliers how they should improve the process, how they should do this and do that and do this and do that. It's not encouraged. The highest level of auditing skills is when you are able to ask the right questions. A series of right questions is like a shepherd dog rounding up the sheep, and they have the auditee himself or herself come to the conclusion. Alright? So when you ask a question, the auditee realize that is the answer. That is the highest level of skill of interviewing. I'm sure Rob can vouch for that. Okay. Any more questions? I put up here, as I mentioned before, this is the first part is the auditing skills, which is filled up by the observer on yourself. Second part is the complete audit report. The best is to, if you have non-conformances, get that closed out within 2 weeks from now, then give me the report. Then now we go to the third part, which is the written assessment. Before we go to the written assessment, any questions?
With the non-conformances, what about minors?
Minors close it up as well. Yeah.
And back to that, we don't have to do the form, do we?
No, we don't have to do
NCR
it.
for a minor. Okay.
I've got a couple where they've got some issues with their system and they've recognised them and things are in place to complete them. not having completed till probably 3/4 of the way through the year. I was just going to list those as observations.
Yeah.
Rather than
They all qualify.
opportunities
Opportunity.
to improve.
Okay.
Unless they're going to cause some serious problems, and in that case,
It's
What do they have
it's
to
a
do?
survey. Last year they only had 16% response rate. We've got some plans in place to get better responses, but the survey doesn't go out till September, so I don't see the point in raising the CNR on something like that. We've got,
that's not
you're not meeting
a
the
customer, a cop, then is it really? It's more about
It's
our
an-
internal
Our
task.
internal target was to get better than a 50% response, so we're not trying to do our target.
Okay, I need to get the participant feedback form back after this, at the end of this session. And now I'll hand you the written assessment questions. It is an open book. You can refer to it as much as you like, so that you don't ask me for the answers. You can take as long as you like.
Not both of those.
Can we talk?
What was it?
I said, if it's open book, can we talk?
Some questions are direct, some are quite indirect. Some questions are testing your understanding. You want me to flash the marking guide on the screen?
Yeah, the one.
How's that going?
We are early. This written session is supposed to start 4:40 to 5, so we are early.